All right, class, we're resuming. And what we have here is a document that we're going to use to learn more about hyperlinks and images. And we've entitled this page Hyperlink Examples. And I could easily go and change that title, but I'm just going to leave it for the sake of time. And inside of the body tag, we've inserted an H3 that says working with hyperlinks and images. Okay, so that is an H3, and I have my screen on vertical split, and I am currently using WeBuilder. Some students in the class will be using a software called Brackets. Or you can also use trinkets.io on the internet, on the web. But currently we are using WeBuilder. And I'm looking at my code to the left, and I'm looking at the results to the right, which I think is pretty neat because I can see instantly the changes that are made to this document. All right, I've also added a paragraph tag in this document that says visit Wallace Community College, Selma to view various information. Or I could say a variety of information, but for the sake of time, we'll leave that like it is. Now what I want to do is I want to make Wallace Community College, Selma a hyperlink so that when those words are clicked on, it will take you to the Wallace website, okay? Now, in order to do that, we need to go in our code and we need to click and drag Wallace Community College, Selma, okay? And what we're going to do is go up to Insert on the menu bar, and we're going to do Insert Hyperlink. So we've decided to make those 4 words our hyperlink text, which means when we click on that text, we're going to visit Wallace Community College Selma website. So right here, what we need to do from the quick pick list, we need to click on HTTP, and we need to then put wccs.edu. Okay?
I got it.
All right. Now, options again. Title is an option because you don't really need it, but it's good to have title sometimes to just kind of give the viewer an idea as to what is going to take place or where they're going to visit once they click on your link. So for title, let's go ahead and put visit WCCS. Okay. All right. Now, next thing, target. Where do you want this new web page to open? Do we want self, top, blank, or parent? For right now, we're going to do blank because we want it to open up in its own web page, okay? And click OK. Now, over to the right, you now see that Wallace Community College Selma is in blue and it's underlined. That is telling us that we have created a hyperlink using those 4 words. Now, if I click on it, it should take me to Wallace Community College Selma. And voila, there it is. I want you to check yours to see if it takes you to the Wallace website, okay? Does everyone understand that?
I got it.
That's great. Now, let's create a few more, and then we're going to learn to use images as hyperlinks, okay? Now, let's come underneath this paragraph tag and hit enter to go to the next line. Okay, Antonio. Now, name some websites you all like to visit. Let's give me about 2 or 3. Devin, what's a website? What is one of your favorite websites to visit? What do you like to surf on the web? Do you have a favorite website? Mine is Amazon, because I love to order from Amazon. What would be yours? While Devin is thinking, Shania, do you have a favorite website?
I like eBay.
All right, so right here, underneath where we have Wallace Community College Selma as our hyperlink, let's just put in visit eBay. So, in order to make eBay a hyperlink, I need someone to instruct me.
I like the word eBay.
Highlight the word eBay, insert eBay.
Hyperlink.
Click on hyperlink.
HTTP. eBay.com.
Do I need the www, you think?
Yeah.
www.ebay.com. All right. And title would be, let's do visit eBay to purchase great items. Put an exclamation mark. And let's make the target blank again. And click OK. And see now over to the right, eBay is now underlined. Okay? Now let's do one more. Who's gonna give me another website that they like to visit? Stanley?
Facebook.
Facebook. All right. Let's say check out Facebook for the latest news. Because you can find out a lot on Facebook, both good and bad. Oftentimes more bad than good. Now, how can I make Facebook a hyperlink?
Highlight the word Facebook. Go to the insert tab.
Or if I choose not to go to the insert tab, there's another location that I can visit to make this a hyperlink. Because I want you to know both ways. Let me see if
Click the little chain connect right there.
the chain link, that's correct. Thank you, Stanley. And what we'll do is we'll do http facebook.com. And let's for the title, let's say connect with an old friend on Facebook. Connect with an old friend on Facebook. Period. And for the target, let's make it blank as well. Okay? So now, and you know what I forgot?
With an old friend what?
On Facebook. And after you do that, you have to, let's put that within a paragraph tag, okay? There we have it. So that it's on its own line.
On Facebook.
All right. Now, are there any questions? So now you have enough practice with hyperlinks now that you should not have any trouble, right? Repetition means retention. You keep repeating it and doing it, it becomes second nature to you. All right? Now, let's just double check our links because we gotta check and see if they really work. I'm gonna click on eBay. Oh, we ready to shop, Shania. And then I'm gonna click on Facebook. All right, we ready to log in with Facebook. So our links work, okay? Now, what I want you all to do is save this file. We're gonna do File, Save As, and we're gonna give, from this point forward, we're gonna name all of our practice in class tutorial, and we're gonna give it the date that it was done. So this file should be named tutorial, and today's date is the 25th, so it's gonna be tutorial 02/25/2020. And I like to put my initials in front of mine, but you don't have to, okay? All right, now, let's go out on the web and find us an image to work with. Okay. Let's go to Bing. I like Bing.com because it tends to provide you a larger volume of images than Google. All right, so let's search for a picture called Mardi Gras. Space Gras. Mardi Gras.
Marty, D. Gras.
Yes. Okay, now, once you have typed in Mardi Gras and you hit the enter key, I want you to click on look at your results and images. And I want to show you a little tip, okay? You see where it has license, image size, color, type, layout, people, and date? Click on the license filter. And let's choose all Creative Commons. All Creative Commons. Okay? Do y'all have the same results as that I have? Did you spell Mardi Gras, M-A-R-D-I, space G-R-A-S?
Yes, ma'am.
And for license, you select all Creative Commons?
Mom gonna have
Okay. So, let's see. So you don't have Mardi Gras, that big dragon right there, you don't see him?
I see.
Click on him. Now, right click on him now, and then left click Save Image As. And what we're gonna do, where do we wanna place this image?
I'm looking for the dragon.
The web document folder.
Web Documents folder. And what I want you to name this, you're gonna run this name all together. You're gonna replace the name that it gives it.
The dragon.
Scroll. Go all the way back up. There he is,
Yeah.
right want you all to type in MARDIGRAS and all together. Dragon. So Mardi Gras Dragon. That's going to be the name of your image, okay? And save.
Mardi Gras versus dragon.
Yes. Now, okay, once you've done that, let's get out of this, and now I'm gonna go, let's see. And Mardi Gras Day is today. This is Fat Tuesday. Isn't that something? So what we're gonna do, I'm trying to find a website for us to link our image to. Okay, all right, I'm ready. I'm going back to WeBuilder now, okay? And underneath Facebook, that link, that Facebook link, I want to now insert this image that we've downloaded from the web. We want to insert this dragon into our document. And we gotta do it kind of quickly because I wanna cover a few other things before time runs out on us. And I have to give you some tips on completing your endangered animals, okay? So let's go to insert an image. Now source, what is the purpose of source? Clicking on this little folder over here will allow us to do what?
Find the image.
Thank you, Shania. It allows us to locate the image that we want to use. So click on that folder, and sometimes it'll take you directly back to your web documents folder, but if it doesn't, you use your left navigation over here to go back to your web documents folder. So we want to click on Mardi Gras Dragon, okay? It will then appear over to the right in the little preview area, and we'll click open. Okay. This time, we want to work with alternate text. Now again, the purpose of alternate text is to provide the user some information about the image in case it does not show up on your web page. So we want to put in alternate text, and you can use spaces here. We want to do Mardi Gras Dragon. Okay? Now, it's going to be fairly large because the width is like 1,024. So let's take away like 200. Let's make it 824 by 485. That kind of shrinks it a little bit. Now under hyperlink, you see you got URL. So right there, we do want to make this image a URL, which means when the user click on your image, it'll take you to a website. Instead of clicking on text, you can now click on the image and it'll take you to a website. So we want that URL to be www.neworleans.com/tourism. Okay? All right. Let's click OK. And And he's still fairly large. So give me a moment and I'm going to get us a good size. Let's see, I'm gonna take this down like 424. By 285. That's a fairly good size. 424 by 285 is a fairly decent sized dragon, okay? You want to make sure, always make sure that you keep your image as proportioned as possible. Have you ever noticed have you ever run across images where the person's head is maybe real long or wide? That means it's not proportioned. That's one thing that gets under my skin. I like images that are proportioned, that looks normal, okay? So sometimes you may have to play around with the size, the width and the height to get it to look proportioned. It's okay, okay? Now that we have that image kind of decent size, hover over it or move your mouse on top of the dragon. You notice it's a hand with a finger pointing upward, right? Now if we click there, it should take us to the website that we're looking for. There it is. New Orleans. But let me make sure I have the right. It should just be neworleans.com. Okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click over here on the left and edit this HTML tag. And it should just be New Orleans instead of neworleans.com tourism. Okay? Do y'all understand how we made an image, a hyperlink? Are there any questions? Now what we want to do is work on styling this page, okay? But before we do that, what we want to do is we want to backtrack and talk about divs, okay? Do you all understand the purpose of div tags? They allow us to section off certain parts of our web page, okay? But before I go any further, does everyone have this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any questions? Do you understand? So that when you venture off to do your assignments, you will have understanding of what is required of you, because you're gonna have to start picking up the speed and completing more and more exercises in order for us to be able to build a simple website by the end of April. We gotta do this and we gotta pick up speed now. So what I'm gonna require of you is outside of class, you're gonna have to use these external links that I've provided for you in Canvas, Quackit, HTML Dog, W3 Schools, and all of those so that you can gain a better understanding of the tags in CSS, okay? See, the neat thing about this class is that you don't have to build this page from complete scratch. You have all these tools and resources that you can use, okay? So very quickly, let's add a div tag right above that H3 where it says working with hyperlinks and images. So let's do div ID equals, and in double quotes you're gonna put header. Now, that closing div tag should enclose that H3. So you want to move it to the end of that closing H3 tag. All right, now we want to add another div tag right above that first hyperlink where we have it for Wallace. So you're gonna add div ID equals links.
Div ID equals.
And you want to put the closing div tag at the end of your Facebook hyperlink. So make sure that your closing div tag goes to the right of that closing Facebook paragraph tag. Okay. Now, we need to add one more div, and that is to enclose that image. All right, so right above that image tag or on the same line, put another div, ID equals image. And you're going to put the closing div tag at the end of that image. And right now, if you were to preview your page, you're not going to see any difference because we must style the page first. And we have to move quickly. All right. Okay, now, does everyone have 3 div tags? What are the names of the div tags? What are the name of the IDs for these divs? Name them. Header, links, image. Thank you. Now, I want to make sure that everyone have them. Now again, if I were to preview my page, nothing changes yet. All right, let's talk about styling it. Now, where do I need to place my embedded style sheet? Before the end and head tag. And when we meet again next Tuesday, we will begin doing external style sheets then, okay? Today we're going to do another embedded, but on next Tuesday we will learn how to do external, which is a separate style sheet that we will link to this page. So what I'm going to do is come right before my closing head tag, and how do I insert an embedded style sheet? I'm lost. I need someone to direct me. CSS, that's correct. Style block, yay! So now, let's just give our background, let's give our page an overall background color. And I told you the last time that we met, you can choose colors from this little button right up here, the insert color. And let's just kind of stick with the named colors palette, okay? Let's just stick with the names color palette. And we're gonna choose something, since Mardi Gras, let's see, we're gonna use a Mardi Gras theme. Pardon?
Green, purple, and gold.
Green, purple, and gold. So let's do this. let's choose a purple for our background, overall background color. Let's go to the second row, and about middle ways that list is called indigo. That's a beautiful rich purple. We're gonna make purple indigo our background color. So what I want you, yes,
Indigo.
yes, what I want you to do right now, on your notes, or in your notes somewhere, I want you to either write down this hexadecimal code for indigo, which is hashtag write down the name, INDIGO, and the hexadecimal code for it is hashtag or pound sign 4B as in boy 0082. I recommend using one of these two methods for, coloring different items. The reason why is because if you use the HSL method or the RGB, it just requires a little bit more typing. It's easier to just reference it by its name or by the hexadecimal code. Wouldn't you agree? Because if you use the HSL or the RGB, you gotta make sure you type HSL or RGB, then you gotta put those numbers in parentheses. So it's a little bit more involved. But the hashtag or the name is just straight to the point, right? So, let's go back. We can cancel out of this for now. And let's do body, because body allows us to overall style the page, Body, tab over, put your curly braces, and you're gonna do background, dash color, colon. What does the colon symbol stand for? Talk to me. What does the colon symbol stand for? Yes, the equal sign. So that is the same as saying background dash color is equal to, and let's just call this color by its name, indigo, semicolon. And if I were to preview, look at there. That's beautiful. I'm gonna do a split. Okay, now what I would like for us to do inside the body, the declaration color will color what? Color changes the color for text. So let's just make it white, since you have such a dark background. Okay, and I think that's all we want to do with the body, overall body for right now, because you can override other styles, or you can add other styles by targeting the DLIDs, the H3s. So let's kind of target that header section, okay? Whenever you are styling an element that has an ID attribute, you must start it with the hashtag or the pound sign. So header, curly braces. Let's add a background color for it. And let's call up the color goldenrod, all one word. Look at that. Now, in my opinion, the words are too close to the edge, isn't it? Look how close that W is to the left side of that, right? So, inside of the header section, let's work with the margin. Margin. And let's do margin dash left. And let's do 5px. Well, actually, that was the wrong setting, a wrong property. I want to say padding, not margin. Sorry about that. Padding. That made it really thick, didn't it? Now, I think I want to take it back down to at least 3 pixels. Because 5, well, 2 is a bit much. 3 is a bit much. Let's try 2. Let me look at it, the whole preview. Okay. That's pretty good. Leave it at 2. All right. Now, what I would like for us to do, you said the green color, Devin,
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
other color we want to target.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go and find us a pretty green. I would say that green right there, olive drab maybe, or forest green, or what do you say about one of these bright greens? Let's do lime green. I think lime green will bring it on out. So what we want to do, let's add a border on the top and bottom of this header section, okay? So let's do this. Let's do border dash top. And remember, how many values do borders have? You know, normally all of these other properties have one value, such as background color has one value, color has one value, padding has one value. Padding can have multiple values too, but border has 3. So border dash top.
Purple, lime, green and gold.
The first value for your border is going to be what type of border do you want? So what I'm going to do very quickly is go to, let's see, w3schools.com, and you don't have to go with me. Okay, I just want to show you something very quickly. Okay, you can have dotted borders, dashed, solid, double, groove, ridge, inset, onset, non, hidden, okay? And this is showing you all the different types of borders right here. The inset border gives it a 3D appearance. Let's try grooved, okay? What we're gonna do is go back here to our border top and we're gonna say grooved. Space. Is it groove? Oh, groove, not groove. Groove, space, and we're gonna have it 3px, because that's how thick we want it. And we want it to be lime green. And let's try 5 pixels just to see will it thicken it up. All right, so what you want to do is copy that whole line. And paste it right underneath and change top to bottom. All right? Does everyone understand what we've done to that header section? We've styled it quite a bit, right? Now, inside of that header section, we have that H3 that says working with hyperlinks and images. So now let's target the H3 itself. You don't have to precede that with anything because you're calling that tag up by its name. H3, tab over, curly braces. And let's just say font size, font dash size. And let's do 36 PT. See where that enlarging it. Ooh, that made it too large. So let's do 24. That's a bit too much. 24 pixel. PT, I'm sorry. 24 point. And if I were to preview that entirely, I think that is nice. Now, what we want to do is we want to now change the alignment because we want to make it center. Don't you think it'll look good center? See, right now it's left aligned. So, what we need to do is for H3, you're going to come down and do text dash align, and you want to center it. Look how neat that is. Now, in the event you want to change that to some other Mardi Gras color, in this image of the dragon, that red is orange kind of stands out. So what we can do, we can change the color of the, not right now, okay?
Not right now.
Let's see, I want to do this. All right, now, what we're going to do very quickly is color. And again, I think that orange, red, and you got to call it up orange, red. I think we probably got to capitalize the O in orange and the R in red, but let's see will it respond without me doing that. Yes, it did. Okay, now, okay, so we've changed, now we got a true Mardi Gras feel to our document, right? Now, let's see, we're gonna do something else because I gotta show you how using these divs will allow us to have a little bit more power. Now, let's see, if we were to target the links div, because we work with the header div, and we have one called links, and we have one called image. Let's come underneath this H3 very quickly. We're gonna call this, what did we name this second? Div tag? Help me. Links. Let's tab over. All right. Let's say width. We're gonna try something, okay? And we're going to, and I'll explain this on next week in greater detail. Width is gonna be, let's see, we're gonna do it in pixels. Let's say 200 pixels. 200 px. Antonio, is that your pencil? All right. Let's try background dash color. Let's do blue. Let's just see what we have. Look at that. So we have chosen to make this div a certain size, and we're going to attempt to line it up with the image. Okay? Now, you see that the words are touching the edge. How can we fix that, someone? Stanley? Which property did we use just a little while ago to work with that header up there so that it wasn't so close to the left edge? Oh, Stanley, anyone help me? Yes, Devin. Yes, Devin. Mhm. Look at the other properties. What was it? Did Shania say Patty? Meet me in there. Who? Patty. That is correct. So in the link section, add your rule for padding. And you're gonna do it by pixels. So you're gonna say, let's try 1 pixel. Because we can always change it, right? See how it kind of moved a little bit? But 1's not gonna do it. 1's not gonna do it. Try 2. 2 is a little bit better. Let's go for the gusto. Let's do 3. But I want you to see the gradual change. Because we're attempting to shift the words over a little bit, okay? Because you don't want the edge, you don't want the words right on the edge of the color. You want to avoid that, okay? You want to avoid that. So we have moved it over a little bit. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to target the link, the div that holds that image. So we've kind of through with the links deal for right now. Let's come underneath it and let's do hashtag image. We're going to do image. Tab over, curly braces. Let's do width. Pixels. Now let's try something. It might not work, but we're gonna work with it on next week. This will just give us a starting place on next week. Float. Right. We gotta tweak it a little bit. But our goal is to place this image and these links side by side. But we have a little bit more work to do, okay? To get it to be lined up. Do you understand? Our goal is to have them side by side. But we're gonna work on that a little bit, okay? But what I'll do for right now, I'm gonna go back to my code and I'll remove that. Okay, I'm gonna remove that float property. That float rule.
You did go back.
Hmm?
You did go back to the code.
Now, what I wanna do now, I do wanna add a border property. Let's add a nice little border to, this image. Okay, what we wanna do is in that image div, let's do border. We're gonna do solid, space, now we want the width, 3px, space, now we want the color. Let's pull in that red orange, orange red. Semicolon. But you notice something? It put the width of that. You know what? I don't wanna confuse you, but I did something incorrect. Because,
Fascinating.
what's that, Antonio?
That was fascinating.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, when I created this div called image and I added this width, I'm actually adding a border around the actual div section. My goal was to add a border around the image itself. So, what I have to do is remove this. I'm just gonna cut it away. I'm gonna cut it away, people. I'm not deleting it. And now I want to make a basic rule for image. So when you want to style an image, if you only have one image on the page, you can say IMG. Space over, curly braces, and I want to apply that now. And see how it's snug around? Now, next week, some of the things we're gonna do is add rounded edges. We're going to float objects. We're gonna talk about tables. And from this point forward, I will be recording sessions so that you all can go back and look at them. I'm gonna create me a little YouTube channel. Hadn't figured it all the way out yet, people, but I will get there. But are there any questions? Are there any questions?